Welcome to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever seen a horse who could talk? With your host, Louisa Barton, who really wants to be a famous rider. She really loves to ride fast. Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care.
Truth is, I have horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Thank you for joining us on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio with Dancin Pete from Complementary Horsemanship, and we have a great lineup for you this week on the show. We have Dr. Adam Cayot talking about pesky parasites. We have Alaina Wickham here with us from Persaud Legacy Farms. We have
Bubbles from JNS Pressure
Washing to get his 2 cents in. We also have Mirielle from MD-equine Therapy and Dr. Alberto Rullan from the Equine Performance Innovative Center on the second half of the show, presented by Palm Chevrolet. Bit of an exciting update in the race world this week. That is me with a broken neck, by the way, a couple of months after I had a rather awful car accident, hit by a fleeing suspect at 65 miles an hour.
Who are you interviewing?
Bob Baffert, who, of course, is the very, very well known in the world of racing and has won 2 Triple Crowns, one with American Pharoah and one with Justify, one in 2015 and one in 2018. He is finally released from his naughty corner that he's been in
naughty corner
at the Kentucky Derby, and he will be back at the next Kentucky Derby, which will be very exciting to see some of the top racehorses that he trains back in the running there at Churchill Downs. So that was officially released this week. So good to have Bob and Jimmy and the team back at Churchill Downs with some of those incredible horses that usually started their training in Ocala, Marion County. So what else have we got, Isaac? Oh, imagine that. The CEP's Equine Signature event coming up in November at the Florida Horse Park.
November 22nd and 23rd.
You know.
Wow.
Well done. We have the Equine Industry Career Expo, and also the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games and All-Breed Horse Parade around the park. 2 incredible fun days, free admission. Thank you to our sponsors. Soon to be added, our presenting sponsor, AgPro. Come on board with us again to bring this wonderful event to another 1,000 or so of our next generation. So we had 756 kids compete last year.
Safety of a stick horse.
Safety of a stick horse, yes. A wonderful
Guarantee you're not going to fall very far.
You're not going to get bugged anyway. Oh, too much. It's a lot of fun. We're going to have a gated Pasofino class this time with a board, so people can do the very special Pasofino gates across that. We'll be judged by top Pasofino judges too, by the way. We also are going to have horse racing again out of the starting gate. We're going to have show jumping, dressage, polo, roping and barrel racing. So you get to do all of that from the safety of a stick horse and learn horse sports and all the rules and win ribbons and trophies. And we'll also have the all-breed parade with hopefully 75 horses. And we'll have the Equine Industry Expo with demos to teach you all about horsemanship, becoming a farrier, a veterinarian, a vet tech,
a horseman,
an equine dentist, a horseman. Yes, any of the above. So make sure you come and see us. There'll be vendors and food trucks, a vendor village. And we'd love to see you at the Florida Horse Park November 22nd, 23rd, so get those on your calendar. Congratulations to Heather and Jeremy Reynolds. Live in Dunellen about 6 months of the year, not too far from here.
Did they win? Did they win?
Heather was in the top 10.
Oh, wow.
Out of 150 endurance races in the Tevis Cup. And Jeremy did not compete this year as he had an injury to his ankle that's healing up very well now, and he'll be competing in Italy soon. So he needed to rest up and get well for that. But Heather in the top 10 is incredible in the Tevis Cup. So it's absolutely one of the most challenging rides in the entire world, 100 miles in a day, which is a lot over very challenging territory. Sadly, there were a couple of horses lost in accidents, unavoidable, but I will say that the Tevis Cup did an absolutely phenomenal job getting to them and helping them as quickly as possible. Very saddened by that, of course, always. There is that risk for a horse even running through a paddock, and we know that, so it does unfortunately happen sometimes, but they do handle it very well, and they have a lot of safety measures at the Tevis Cup as well in place, and they're very fast at getting help to people. So, but on a brighter note, well done, Heather. It's a big deal to get in the top 10. So.
Whoop, whoop.
Don't forget the Mounted Police Championships are going to be at World Equestrian Center, January 9th through the 12th. Very, very excited. We're going to mention this every single week to you until January so that you show up and watch this. It's going to be a lot of fun. We had a wonderful guest with us just last week talking about the Mounted Police Championships, and you're going to see some fine horsemanship from some law enforcement. It's going to be a great event. You can go and watch it at the beautiful World Equestrian
And we got invited to judge.
We did. Yeah,
wow. The two of us together.
That's scary.
Yeah, it is.
It'll be a great event, so make sure. January 2025, that sounds like it's a long way away, but it's not, because we're almost in August. Hot dogs are jumping.
July 27th
Yes,
and
I gotta
28th.
say thank you, Neil from Ocala Dog Ranch, who brought me English chocolate because I really needed it today. I had one of those days. Hot dogs are jumping July 27th to 28th at the Ocala Dog Ranch.
9 a.m.
Yep, 9 a.m. pre-registration, only $22 a splash. If you haven't seen dogs in action leaping through the air into swimming pools, you haven't lived.
And with this heat, what a better event to go to.
Absolutely. Anything with water is good right now, right?
That's right.
Gentle Carousels reading with horses. We had an absolutely phenomenal week last week with them. It was just amazing. Actually, Bubbles from JNS was running around in there as well with wonderful Moon Shadow puppies from the Open Hands Animal Rescue looking for forever homes, and we got to have our CEP meeting there, and they have one more week left of this. If you're listening on Saturday morning on the Sky 97.3, you missed it.
You missed it. What,
Have to go
next year.
That's right. And that is Gentle Carousels Reading with Horses. It's an absolutely wonderful, wonderful summer program every Thursday at 10 a.m. And as I said, July 25th, it's the last one. So.
And Debbie and George do a phenomenal job of getting these horses there, getting the kids to read the book. They read the book to the kids. And here comes the main character out of the book.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
I'd have gone nuts if I was
Kids'
a kid.
faces are priceless. They really are. They're priceless. And they love the puppies too. So let's hope they got forever homes. We, if you're not watching on Equus Television
You should
Network,
be.
and if you're not on Facebook at the Horse Talk Show, take a look at me at the muddiest I think I've ever been in my whole entire life.
You sod buster.
I'm a sod buster. Yes, I was going to ask you what you did this weekend, but we just ran out of time, so we got to go to break. But we'll share a little bit with you later about this, maybe in the last segment. Grandview Farms delivered it. Jason did a fantastic job unloading it, and then thank you, Texas Billy, so much for helping me lay 10 pallets of sod. Ooh. And thank you, Maria. Our food for a massage because it was in agony. Now we've got to go to break, so we'll see you back with Dr. Adam Cayot in just a minute. This portion of the Horse Talk Show is brought to you by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, our television broadcast sponsor, Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and supporting sponsors DAC Minerals and Vitamins, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip, Piranha, Pat Myers Electric, Florida HVAC Services, and Ocala Dog Ranch. This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
Equestrian. It's not just a word but a title. It comes paired with hard work, discipline and talent. LipChip is a company built by equestrians to make life at the barn a little easier. Introducing the Hooflink system, powered by LipChip, where a microchip becomes a secure key to unlock temperature, register for your next event, and keep track of required documents. Simply implant, scan, and unlock. Equestrians, the future is here, and the future is LipChip.
The team of professionals at Equifence of Florida specialize in equestrian fencing, offering great communication, quality fencing, and all done in a timely manner. Reliable service with horse safety in mind all the time. Also offering customized residential, vinyl, wood, aluminium, and chain link fences services. Equifence of Florida, quality fencing done right to keep your animals safe. For more information, find Equifence of Florida on Facebook now. Broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Louisa Barton here for the Horse Talk Show and the CEP's Equine Initiative with Dr. Adam Cayot from Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And we're going to talk a bit about pesky parasites. Nobody likes them.
No.
Who likes a parasite?
Gross. Not me.
No. Talk to us a little bit about what we face with horses. What kind of parasites are the biggest concern and what do we do about it?
Well, the ones that are the biggest concern are strongyles, obviously. Large and small strongyles. Ascarids can be a deal too. What do we do about it? Well, you try to make sure that they're parasite free and deworm them. We're trying to get away from just blind worming schedule, and we're trying to encourage people to do fecal exams and see actually what's there because of resistance, right? We're starting to see resistance to dewormers, and there's no new things in the pipeline coming out. So if ivermectin still is the top of the heap and the one that works the best. But if we have seen there are farms that have a resistance to ivermectin, and obviously if that happens, it can be a real bear. So we're trying to get people to do fecal exams. You really should do it on every horse. Sometimes obviously that's not feasible or realistic in whatever your situation is. But if you have horses that are together in a field or whatever, and you want to pick a couple out of that field or out of that group, then that's better than nothing. Mm-hmm. And
especially if you don't have a new horse. Now, if you have a new horse, that could differ
right.
up in the herd.
And along those lines, if you have what we call a closed herd, so a closed herd is basically nothing comes in and nothing comes out. It's your old retired horses, and they're just living there, and you don't have new horses coming in and new horses coming out. Then if they don't have a high parasite load, then there's a good chance that they won't, because it's basically closed. You're not getting contamination from horses that have a high parasite load or that are the depositing eggs. So that's nice. But if you have horses that come in and out all the time, then obviously you're more at risk for having a parasite problem. So fecals, we look for the eggs in the fecal exam. Now, the one drawback of the fecal exam is tapeworms. Tapeworms obviously don't lay eggs, so sometimes you can get lucky and see a tape on a fecal ball or whatever. Then you know. Otherwise, you got to pay pretty close attention. Sometimes I will tell people if tapeworms aren't really that common in horses like they are in dogs and that sort of thing, so it's not a huge problem in horses. But if we're having an issue, then I'll just go ahead and tell them to worm for tapeworms. But generally, if they don't have any egg load or very, very low egg load, then I tell people to not deworm that particular horse. And then obviously if they have an egg load that's worrisome, then we go ahead and deworm. And then typically I have them do another fecal in 60 days and see where we are.
Yeah.
A lot of times that'll help dramatically, if not eliminate the problem. So we're trying to get away from just the blind, okay, I'm going to worm with ivermectin, this 3 months and Quest that 3 months, and, quarterly or whatever. We're trying to get away from that, because if the horse doesn't need it, then let's not do it.
Right.
So
now there are these rare oddities, of course, and I had one which was adopting a wild horse that had been obviously feral out on the plain.
Right.
All his fecals, actually, I think I did 3, were all negative.
Right.
And then because I was concerned because of where he came from, obviously from being feral, I did a deworming protocol anyway, because of my concern, him mixing with my older horses.
Right.
And on the third deworming, even though
some-
all his
got
fecals were
some, yeah.
negative, I got some very visible.
Worms, yeah.
It's hard for me to eat spaghetti ever since, I'll be honest with you. And I mean, it was a lot in every
Yeah.
pile. So you do have some of those
Yeah,
real
that's-
rare oddities, which obviously,
Yeah.
and if you're getting a horse possibly from one of those wild roundups, those could be the exceptions
There's always those out there.
those abuse situations maybe where
Right.
they've never been dewormed and half starved, and
Right.
those also are another
Right.
rarity.
So you try to, try to look at other signs of your horse, dull hair coat, kind of just unthrifty, not doing well or whatever. So that can always be a concern. It's just interesting that you didn't have any egg shedding or whatever. So
Well, they thought what the end result of that was that they thought that they were like encysted almost. Is
Right.
that the right
Yeah.
word? Where they
Yep,
were
yep,
actually
you can have
attached to the
encysted.
wall.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
possibly already dead.
Dead, right.
But just because they looked dead when they came
Right,
out.
right,
but they
right.
were actually, I think, the reason they didn't come out with the
Yeah,
other
they weren't
dewormings
shedding.
is
They weren't
they
shedding
weren't.
into the fecal material.
And I mean, I'm talking like 20 piles of I was walking around the field going, oh, this is terrible. I've never had anything like this happen in my life. But you obviously take that risk.
Yeah, so the encysted ones, that brings up a good point. The encysted ones, they're encysted into the lining of the gut, so they won't be producing anything until they break out of their,
Yes.
break out of their
And
cyst.
they've probably been there for
been
quite a
hanging
while.
out.
Yes.
Yeah, been hanging out.
That's one of those oddball things that
Right.
probably doesn't happen to that
Right,
many
no,
people. But
no, luckily. No.
that's right. But when you adopt a wild horse, you get some of the unknowns.
You don't know what you're going to get. That's
No.
right.
$25. Most wonderful horse. He's fantastic. I couldn't ask for a better horse. He's had an English saddle on this week for the first time.
good,
So
good,
a
awesome.
fat Mustang couch with an English saddle on it. So it's
Sounds
a good picture.
Yeah, right.
Thank you, Dr. Adam Cayot. Great advice here on parasites, and certainly in the summertime, I think that that's a bigger concern for us, and we definitely didn't have a very cold winter, which certainly helps to get rid of them. So in Florida, I think we have even bigger awareness of that. Louisa Barton here with Dr. Adam Cayot from Peterson Smith Equine Hospital in Complete Care. Puts you off spaghetti, doesn't it?
I'm not eating it.
Louisa Barton here with Dancin Pete Roda, and we have Alaina Wickham with us. We are going to be chatting to Alaina a little bit about Persaud Legacy Farms. Very excited about that beautiful facility, and we're also going to talk a little bit about her. But first of all, I want to mention unbridled innovation. Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital in Complete Care has a new CT wing, and it is the main event. I love all the puns here. But it's really a state-of-the-art new CT wing at Peterson and Smith, and that's a big deal. That's huge. So Definitely worth you checking that out. And actually, I'm going to get my telephone here so I can actually read this to you, because I'm sure that I will mispronounce it if I don't. And that is, Cutting Edge Edition features the latest Qualibra Aquilian Exceed LB, not standing for Louisa Barton, by the way, CT system, allowing us to confidently diagnose and treat with precision. With access to detailed three-dimensional images, they can now pinpoint issues and plan treatments much more effectively. That came from Dr. Faith Hughes at Peterson Smith. So very exciting that they have this brand new wing. And
I think you need to do a talk on just that.
I know. Well, actually, it's funny you should say that, but I did actually email Jose Madeira today and say, hey, who can I interview about the new wing? And can I please bring Isaac over there to film it all? So yes, absolutely, we will do that, and we'll bring you a lot more details. But that's a wonderful, very exciting announcement for the horse capital. Alaina, thank you for being with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You've worked for a vet yourself. We were talking about that in the break. You've had lots of horse experience. Tell us a little bit of your background.
So I came down to Florida in 2009 as a working student. And from there, I met somebody who was planning to go to Europe for FEI combined driving. And so I said, sure, I'll go and be your groom.
Oh, yes, of course. I'll carry bags. I'll do anything, right?
And we went to California first, and then we went to Germany. And from there, I worked for another FEI driver and came back here and worked for a vet for a short time before I was hired at Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Center as their manager. And then from there I became the general manager at Goldmark Farm until May of this year, and now I'm at Persaud Legacy Farms. And wow, we're excited about all the things we're doing there.
Quite a resume.
Yeah.
Quite a resume. So the good news is, even though we're at the end of this segment, we're going to hear a little bit more about Persaud Legacy Farms with Alaina after the break, so stay with us. This portion of the Horse Talk Show is brought to you by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, our television broadcast sponsor, Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and supporting sponsors, DAC Minerals and Vitamins, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip, Piranha, Pat Myers Electric, Florida HVAC Services, and Ocala Dog Ranch.
Faulty wiring is the leading cause of barn fires. I'm Pat with Pat Myers Electric. Equine facilities have special electrical needs. The knowledgeable and licensed team of electricians at Pat Myers Electric will ensure that you can achieve your vision for a beautiful, safe, and functional horse facility. From new construction to rewiring and updating, the Pat Myers Electric team is ready to jump in and help keep your horses safe. With a small farm of our own, we truly understand the unique concerns of the horse owner. Don't take chances. For all your current barn needs, go to patmyerselectric.com.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at seminolefeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care seeks to be a leading international veterinary practice that provides state-of-the-art veterinary care to their patients while fostering professional relationships with their clients that stand the test of time. For 24/7 and the best in equine care, check out Peterson and Smith at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now for more information. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hey, this is Buck Branneman. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital in Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio with Dancin Pete from Complementary Horsemanship, and our special guest this week we have Alaina Wickham from Persaud Legacy Farms. Alaina, we've been talking a little bit about you. You have quite a resume as a rider yourself, and obviously been around Ocala and at the farms and know the equine world as well as you do. I love this. Meeting you with wonderful Mary Phelps last week was fantastic, and I was very excited to hear about this farm. Tell us a little bit about the background. It was Woodford, beautiful, beautiful farm, absolutely gorgeous. I drove around it and it was just, I'm coming back for the real tour.
Yeah, it was Woodford Farm, so it was really prestigious, thoroughbred farm. A lot of top horses have come off that racetrack to go to wherever else in the country, and so a lot of history with the farm, and it's a really special farm. When you come back for a tour, we'll show you all the special parts.
That's pretty special.
Yeah, that was the other night.
That's lovely. Yeah, it's really beautiful. So how many acres?
It's just about 1,000, just over 1,000. So 1,000 acres of usable land, though it's all pasture land or barns or usable space.
Absolutely. Incredible facility. And it's in Reddick.
Yes.
Yes, it's in Reddick. And the racetrack is, as you said, pristine.
Yeah, it's a really nice racetrack, 5/8 of a mile dirt track. So, we have a starting gate and barns that are close to the track, so everything you need to train the horses there. There's a swimming area in the pond that's just behind in the middle of the racetrack.
I saw the pond. I think I recorded the pond. Well, you can see it there.
Well, you said usable. Everything was usable. Then I saw the pond by the racetrack, and then you went, oh yeah, we use that
We
too.
use that
Also
too.
usable.
And even little trails around.
Yeah, so that's a 2-mile turf track.
Nice.
That's really cool. Yeah.
That's nice. This is just gorgeous.
Yeah, So this part is where we are remodeling barns for sport horses. This was our first barn that we were doing, and we're putting in arenas, round pens, walkers, a covered arena. We're doing a lot of modifications to turn it into more of a sport horse area.
And you're an expert because you did a lot of that at Goldmark.
Yeah, we redid a lot of Goldmark. We put in riding arenas, and it was a really, prestigious thoroughbred farm, but obviously the needs are different, so.
Yeah, we certainly in Ocala have diversified a lot.
Yeah.
And back in the 1950s, it was pretty much all just racehorses, which kind of gave us the big jump into being a popular spot. But certainly now it's very, very popular for sport horse. I love those statues.
Yeah, those are really nice.
Beautiful. I did my self-tour today around. So you've got paddocks, you've got barns, you've got the racetrack, and you're going to be adding more of a sport horse facility to this as well with the arenas.
Yeah, we've got one arena in, so Longwood Arenas is doing all of our
saw that, yes.
our building. So he put in our first outdoor arena, and then we'll have at least one more plus a covered arena. We have plans to put in like a turf jumping area. So there's a lot of potential with that farm. There's a lot of open space, a lot of the grass is really nice.
The grass is
grazing,
incredible.
the
I know.
grazing for the horses.
I'm like, who laid that sod? Not Louisa. No, gorgeous. I mean, wow, what a setup. What a setup. So is there kind of a long-term date or goal? Because this is a lot, obviously, you're taking on.
Yeah, so we're actually breaking ground on the covered arena and the outdoor arena this week. So that'll be done by the end of the year, and we hope to be full. We have 180 stalls in total. Some of them are already filled, some are still open, so we have a couple barns left for dry stalls.
Wow.
Very good.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, you mentioned in the prior segment a little bit about driving, FEI driving, and you were with Mary Phelps, who's probably one of the finest drivers I've ever met. Is that your background? Have you been a driver in the past?
No, I was always the manager, or I rode the horses, or I groomed or something like that. I have driven, but there's no way that I'm going to drive a marathon.
Not ready for that?
No.
Well, you know who taught me to drive?
Who?
Wayne.
Oh, yeah.
Mary Phelps' husband, Wayne Humphries, yeah, with their lovely Welsh cob.
Bouncer?
Yes,
yeah,
bouncer.
He's so cool.
World champion bouncer, yeah. What a
It's
way
good
to
one.
learn, right?
Yeah, that can't get any better than that.
So tell us why the owner, the new owner came in, bought this obviously from Woodford, and he decided that he wanted to diversify this farm, which makes so much sense to me now in Ocala. So that's the long term, is to attract everybody.
Yeah, so we want to make it a multidiscipline facility. He has plans to do a therapeutic riding center. So that'll be included in the long-term plans. But the plan is to try to make the farm work and be able to be a farm. So you have to do something with every blade of grass. We would like to do events there,
Wow.
We have the quarantine barn, so that's something that we're looking at setting up. If we could do concerts or
Weddings.
CEP events.
CEP events would be great. Yeah, we would love that. CEP events would be fantastic. Weddings, concerts.
Yeah, just trying to really, make everything work at the farm. So whatever we can do to make that happen.
That's incredible. And how long has this actually been since it started?
He bought the farm in March.
Wow.
So it hasn't been, we've done a lot in the last, I started working there in May. So it's been...
Sounds like you're a person gets things done.
A bit of a go-getter, yeah.
Or likes to spend somebody else's money.
Get things done, yeah. No, that's amazing to think at the end of the year. It's only, I was just saying, we're not that far from the end of the year. So
Yeah.
You've got big aspirations.
Yeah, I'm hoping with the covered arena and the outdoor arenas we'll be able to fill the stalls. I think we will. Do retired horses or young horses, all that kind of stuff too. There's tons of fields that could handle that sort of thing.
That's nice. That's really nice. So offering boarding really to anybody who wants to come there, and if you just want to come and trail ride even, or
Yeah, we would open up the turf track to be a trail riding area. You will have a fee and a system, but we can offer that. And so I think for the driving people, that might be kind of interesting.
I do too, actually. Mary Phelps would be the one to say that, but I think that would be fantastic if there was a place people could come and do that kind of training,
Yeah, no, and there's hills on that property, which you don't find very much in Marion County.
I did see that, like lots of nice slopes.
Yeah.
Are you planning on doing any eventing?
Yeah, we would, event.
Start put jumps
so
in?
one of the fields we're designating for jumping, and then it has a nice hill that eventers could use for conditioning. So what we're hoping is for like big barns of people, trainers, or that want to rent all the stalls in the barn and do dry stalls.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, that way we have less people and more horses.
More horses, yeah, exactly. No, that's fantastic. It's absolutely beautiful. I was amazed to see what you've already done, and just in that quarantine area, fantastic. And look at that for an amazing view. And maybe clinics even.
Yeah,
like horsemanship clinics.
Yeah, with the covered arena, we could do clinics or symposiums or things like that. So definitely something we want to look at.
Yeah, business after hours. I'm all about a business after hours.
Yeah, we never do any farm things.
I know. Under the covered arena, we have the equine meeting at 2:00 on the Thursday, the CEP's equine meeting presented by Piranha, and then everybody stays, and then we have business after hours at 5:00, and we're already there.
And
We've
I'll
had the sneak peek already.
Hey, I'll even do dance lessons for everybody that shows up with horsemanship.
Dancing Pete Rhoda.
That's right.
Dance
Get
lessons
everybody
and
dancing.
horsemanship. Get everybody dancing at business after hours. It could be good. Maybe the Power Ranger will show up. What do you think? Alaina, thank you. We have gifts for you.
Oh.
And we only have a minute left, so we have a goodie bag from Piranha for you. By the way, this mitt's amazing. And we have your Horse Talk Show brush.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you.
So that has to go with you on your travels.
Okay.
I'm coming back for the full tour,
Yeah,
by the way. So
definitely.
Persaud Legacy Farms, I'm so excited. Alaina Wickham. We'll be back with the second half of the show. Stay with us. Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart. for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Equestrian. It's not just a word but a title. It comes paired with hard work, discipline, and talent. LipChip is a company built by equestrians to make life at the barn a little easier. Introducing the Hooflink system, powered by LipChip, where a microchip becomes a secure key to unlock temperature, register for your next event, and keep track of required documents. Simply implant, scan, and unlock. Equestrians, the future is here, and the future is LipChip.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
The Equine Performance Innovative Center, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centers for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever heard of a horse that could talk? Listen to this. With your host, Louisa Barton. She's literally in love with every horse. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. She's back in the saddle again. And now here's your host,
Pretty.
Louisa Barton. She's a Brit, she's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio with Dancin Pete Roeder from Complementary Horsemanship, and Bubbles from JNS Pressure Washing is back with us. And we have had some feedback on some questions that you would like to ask your horse.
From the horse's mouth.
Yeah, straight from the horse's mouth. So we have some expert opinion answers to those questions. So let's start with number one, which is from Renee Landry. Are you hurting anywhere, Bubbles?
Well, that's it.
I am, by the way, from laying sod. Just so you know, I'm hurting, but I'm not the horse here. So.
Well, we don't really show pain like you do, and we're not able to go get massages all the time and things like that. But like if you see that my bridle or my bit, if I'm doing that with my face a lot, or it's gonna let you know that hey, something's going on, or if my gait's a little off or something like that, that'll tell you that hey, something's going on and we need to make some adjustments.
We need to get you checked out.
Oh yeah.
By probably Dr. Adam Cayot. And then you might need some conditioning with Dr. Alberto Rullan, and then you might need a massage with Mirielle from Midnight Rose Equestrian, and you might need some therapy. Or your saddle and your bridle may not fit very well, and that might need to be addressed. But it is important if you're hurting to find out what the root of that problem is, right?
Yeah.
Yes, because you're not going to be comfortable under saddle if you're hurting.
Going to our next question.
From Walter Delgado.
Can you lend me money?
So,
Walter, that's a very good question when it comes to horses. Yeah. Just saying.
And you guys are the one with the money. I just like to eat it all up. But that is one of the things whenever you do purchase a horse, you got to look at all avenues and not just the horse itself. You've got the maintenance. You've got a trailer if you're going to be taking your horse somewhere, all the way down to the axles and the tires and things like that. You've got stall maintenance. So it's not just the horse itself that you're having to purchase. You're having to purchase the wide variety of things.
Yeah, so make sure you've got enough money to take care of it, because quite often the smallest investment is the initial purchase of the horse, right? So if you're thinking of purchasing a horse, please do a budget first for the best forage, Larson Hay, the best feed, Seminole feed stores, in our opinion, and all the other things that you need to keep up that horse, whether it be bedding, fencing, all the things. The first initial purchase might be the least amount that you'll invest. So being aware of the costs, because otherwise you might be looking at your horse saying, can you lend me some money?
All right, question number 3.
Charlotte Cannon.
Oh, we know Charlotte.
We do. Oh, congratulations, Charlotte Cannon, for getting married. Lovely, beautiful wedding with Tommy. Yes, lovely.
What are the 3 to 5 most important factors to you to be a great horse competitor?
Well, the first one, for hay, you definitely want to go through Larson Hay.
That's your forage, right?
No plugs here.
No plugs. No.
And then Seminole feed, for their feed, is a great quality product. A horse has to eat proper in order to, be a good competitor.
Yes, a good competitor. Good forage, good feed.
Yeah, and then someone who understands a horse. You got to be able to build a relationship and take time, not someone that's pushy. That's probably one of my 3 things. Pete, do you have anything?
No, I think those are great.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Understanding the foundational training of the horse is so important before you get to that level of competing, right? I mean, if you're thinking of competing before you've got everything on the ground sorted out, a lot of people rush into the saddle and rush into the next
Well, I always tell
phase.
people you should be bored at the shows. If you're bored at the shows, you're doing all the good prep before you go there. If you're at the show going, I don't know how I'm going to get this done, you probably shouldn't be there.
If it's never a dull moment, there might be a problem. So
Yes,
you want a good foundation, correct? Right.
All right, next question. Great question from Charlotte.
Yes.
This one is from Chris Blankenship. Why do you hate fly spray? This is not brought to you by Piranha. Then.
No.
Well, have you ever been to a golf course and seen that reclaimed water? You get the stench.
Yes.
You definitely don't want to get sprayed by anything like that.
No.
So
the nice thing is Piranha fly spray does actually smell quite pleasant.
yeah,
I have to
they got
say.
a couple different smells.
They do.
And then one thing, if the horse doesn't like so much to spray, you could have a nice woolly mitt.
We need a mitt.
We have mitts.
We need a mitt.
Yeah, I'm getting a face rub from Bubbles.
You could rub it on the horse, and the horse would really like that.
Yeah.
And if you're watching, Bubbles has his own shirt tonight.
Yeah. So a variety of products with Piranha that all smell different. So maybe try some of those different products and see if you prefer some of the other smells more, because sometimes it is the odor for horses. They're very sensitive. Their nostrils are very sensitive. And if some horses just don't like the surprise of the spray. So maybe start where they can actually see you. Don't start spraying at the back or in the middle. Start at the front where they can see where that spraying is actually coming from. And then
the touch.
And then
like
the touch.
when they feel that little, where'd that come from?
Add your hand or the mitt.
The mitt.
The mitt is fantastic. So the mitt, the Piranha mitt is nice. It's soft. It's very comfortable.
I'm gonna TikTok you in a second.
You're going to have to get TikToked. So do try the different fly sprays and see. It could be odor. It could be the contact sudden spray. What is that? So
and get a water bottle full of water and sit there so you can spray it as much as you can.
Yes, because if the
you
the
won't
water
waste your fly spray.
Right.
All right, let's go on to question number 5.
How about chipping in on the feed bill?
Do I look like I chip in
From
on
Bob
the feed bill?
Ayres. Yes. How about chipping in on the
No.
feed bill?
No.
That's not happening.
I'm going to keep the feed coming.
It goes back to the money thing.
It goes back to the money thing. Make sure you're financially prepared for horse ownership.
Okay, question number 6.
From Megan at MD-equine Ocala LLC.
What are your most favorite or fond memories? How can we make more?
Okay. Well, some of my favorite memories are when I was young and training, taking, just not trying to rush me, but really trying to build that relationship, because that's what I'll always remember is the times that we had running through the paddock or just doing some small exercises. But that's what I really like. It makes me happy.
Extra time, yes.
Yeah, it makes me happy.
Yeah, and I think, if you're competing, I see a lot of people who are competing taking their horse to go hack around at hits. They're in the warm-up arena, they're competing, they're doing all the things, and then you see them later on or even earlier in the morning, you see them just hacking around hits, taking the horse for a nice loose rein hack. And I know that you like that.
Well, I even see at WEC lately a lot of people grazing their horses either in the little paddocks that they have supply for you guys, or even out on the grass. I've seen them hanging out eating grass.
Yeah.
Grass that nobody's eaten in a while.
Yes, and at the racetrack, one of the things that when I was talking to one of the winners of the Breeders' Cup races, one thing they commented on is how much their horse loved it when they came at 3 a.m. before all the barn madness started at 4 a.m. and they took that racehorse out on the lead out to a grassy patch near the barn and just let that horse graze. So I know that time with your human is important to you, isn't it?
Yeah, and one of my favorite memories is when we won the Galaxy 500 and I got all the wreaths around me. That was a good memory.
Galaxy 500?
Oh, it hasn't happened yet. Maybe it's just in my dream.
All right,
That's
going on
the
to question number 7.
Last question.
Last question.
And it's, are you happy?
Janet Erickson.
Are you happy? Do you feel safe and loved?
I feel loved.
Do you feel safe?
Safe is most important.
I feel safe.
Safety, everything. I'm going to tell you very quickly in closing in this segment that every single top clinician I talk to tells me the same thing. Your horse needs to feel safe. That is the most important thing. So we like Bubbles feeling safe, and JNS Pressure Washing is who you need to reach out to if you need your barn cleaning up. So we'll be back. Stay with us on the Horse Talk Show. Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to our TV broadcast sponsor, Dancin Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Nirvana Medical Spa, TT Distributors, Summit Joint Performance, Equigreen, Midnight Rose Equestrian, the Florida Horse Park, Horse Farms Forever, and the Equine Performance Innovative Center. The team of professionals at Equifence of Florida specialize in equestrian fencing, offering great communication, quality fencing, and all done in a timely manner. Reliable service with horse safety in mind all the time. Also offering customized residential, vinyl, wood, aluminium, and chain link fences services. Equifence of Florida, quality fencing done right to keep your animals safe. For more information, find Equifence of Florida on Facebook now.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
My name is Dr. Natalie Solomon. I formulated Equigreen with cutting-edge science and technology alongside the passion that is represented by a lifelong love of horses. I created a product that I would trust for my horses because they deserve nothing but the best for their bodies. Horses rely on us to take care of them, to love them, to respect them. This is how Equigreen came to life. Equigreen, CBD for your horse that you can trust.
Does your farm need a facelift? Has the harsh Florida climate left your barns, stable doors, and fences stained? JNS Pressure Washing has a professional team who can exceed your expectations and restore your farm to its former glory. Get rid of dust and cobwebs that can cause allergies and health issues for horses, and keep your horses safe by limiting fire hazards in the barn. JNS Pressure Washing can clean your house, your barns, your fences, and your driveway, and you can count on dependable and professional services. For more information, call Stephen at 352-502-5355.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
This is Charlotte Cannon, and you are listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Louisa Barton here for the Horse Talk Show and the CEP's Equine Initiative with one of our CEP partners. We are chatting to Mirielle from MD-equine Therapy, and we're going to talk a little bit about something I enjoyed the benefits of for a headache that I had that day. Thank you to Mirielle. We're going to talk a little bit about essential oils. Mirielle, tell us a little bit about what you do with essential oils for our horses.
Yeah, so I often, almost always, incorporate essential oils in the horse's body work, and that can be for during their sports massage therapy, during myofascia release, or during craniosacral therapy. And as you know, horses in the wild, they tend to travel to the areas where there are certain plants or scrubs or flowers or grasses with what they need, what their body needs. And here we don't do that, right? Because we feed them just hay and grain, and we have grass pastures, but they don't roam around in the wild. And essential oils being 100% natural, so you want to make sure when you use essential oils that they're 100% organic and natural, really have an amazing influence on the horse's physical and emotional well-being. So if I do, for example, sports massage, if you use like an oil that contains wintergreen and peppermint and marjoram and vetiver, it really helps relax the muscles, and it gives the horse an even more better overall feeling of well-being. And if a horse has, for example, stress, because a lot of horses have stress or anxiety, we use other oils like chamomile, lavender, yang yang, all the nice oils to kind of relax their state of mind. And these are great to incorporate with craniosacral therapy, especially horses that have had head injuries from a fall or in the trailer. Their nervous system kind of gets out of whack, and these horses can be very nervous and anxious and spooky. And then while release their craniosacral system, we use very calming oils, and horses will actually fall asleep during that. But I do want you to know that I do not put oils on a horse. The horse always gets to choose. So you can see that in the video. Because horses need to have an opinion, and sometimes I think like, oh, this is going to be a great oil for them, and then they kind of go like, no, not that one, and it's something totally different, and they will yawn and lick, release, close their eyes, so you see all the releases come. So it's an amazing healing property for horses, because essential oils, they go into the bloodstream, and then from there they can kind of travel to the different molecules and the different cells and interact with all the horse's systems. So it can be digestive system, musculoskeletal system, nervous system, lymphatic system.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And the point that you made about horses in the wild are able to kind of find what they need and go to what they need, and we've either put them in a paddock or a stall where they don't have that ability to go and find what they need.
Correct.
So you're letting the horse actually choose what it needs from testing one, letting the horse smell it, and then if the horse knows it needs that. So that's amazing, really. You're kind of allowing it to choose its own therapy, because it knows its own body and how it feels.
A horse really knows best what their body needs. And that's sometimes why we always see them lick mud. right?
Yes,
or
I
because
have
they
seen
have a
that.
shortage of minerals, or they they eat certain things from the ground, and it's really a shortage in their body. And of course, I have a whole list of oils and what they're good for. So there's oil, like I said, for maybe a tummy ache or some stomach problems, or an oil for anxiety and stress, or others for maybe an ache or pain. But we still have to offer it to them. And sometimes they will even lick your hand, because there's 3 ways you can use essential oils. One is through inhalation. So you can put an oil on your hand, and if they have accepted that oil, you can actually put your hands around their muzzle and their nose, and they will breathe it in, and that's the fastest way to communicate to the brain. So sometimes within minutes, you have a reaction of that oil. Then the second way is topical. So you add it topical to maybe one of the meridians that represents their organs, or localized on their muscle, where their muscle has restriction or is tight or sore, or it could be on a wound, right? They can have a cut or a wound, and essential oils are very healing for also for wounds. That's a great way, and then they enter into the bloodstream, and then they do their work. Or you can add them as a top dressing, or even in a little capsule for them to ingest and digest. But with horses, we always want to use carrier oil. So we don't give the pure oil to the horse. They can smell it pure, but once you start to use it on them or for them, or even have them lick it, you want to use a organic carrier oil, like grapeseed oil, flaxseed oil, coconut oil, as long as it's organic. And it's really fun to see their expressions. Sometimes they dive right into it and eat the whole bottle, and then other times they make faces,
and you're like, that's not the one.
No, and they will walk back, and
just like people.
Yeah, just like people. And then the owners, they can keep some of that oil, or they can, purchase it.
I was going to ask you that. Is there a time that, you would want to reuse it again?
Yeah. So a lot of clients of mine, they like to buy what I used, because they saw the effect on their horse. I have multiple testimonials online where we only worked with bodywork and essential oils. And that essential oil has totally changed their horses' not personality, but their got rid of their anxiety or their stress.
Because Dr. Cayot talks about that a lot, about how since we've had horses in captivity and in sports, and often keep them in a stall, especially for racing and jumping, they're in a lot, and it changes their anxiety level from where they may have been galloping across a plain or a prairie or up a hill, and they're in a stall. So there's a lot of different lifestyle for a horse than there would have been. So I feel like anything we can do to kind of keep that anxiety down and good comfort level. We've only got a couple minutes left, but I do have a quick question for you, and I'm sure this comes up a lot. For obviously competing at higher levels for testing, I'm sure that's a question you get.
Yeah, clients that do shows and performance, they need to check with their own organization. Each organization has their own rules and regulations. You have the FEI, regulations. Right. Then we have the HISA with the race horses. We have the Equestrian Federation, and then the dressage people. All different disciplines, they have different regulations. So definitely you want to check that. I know that it's crazy as it sounds. Lavender is actually on one of the lists with one of the organizations, and it's too bad.
It is.
It is too bad, because by giving a horse, making it a little bit more settling the nervous system, because that's what it does, right? Lavender, it settles your nervous system, or another oil, chamomile or something. It's kind of crazy that we don't allow horses in the ring, especially for the rider, to be as on their best, right? On their best behavior, especially when it suddenly gets windy or there's noise. And then, but yeah, that's something for the organizations to discuss. But I'm a fan of it. So if you're not showing, please try to discover the healing effects of essential oils. And
Wonderful.
I'm happy to help.
Louisa Barton here with Mirielle from MD-equine Therapy for the Horse Talk Show and the CEP's Equine Initiative. Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Nirvana Medical Spa, TT Distributors, Summit Joint Performance, Equigreen, Midnight Rose Equestrian, the Florida Horse Park, Horse Farms Forever, and the Equine Performance and Innovative Center.
Cut through the noise and distinguish your business with a custom vehicle wrap from Smash Wraps. Get noticed with eye-catching vehicle wraps that showcase your brand's identity and earn you more business. If you're looking for a custom-designed vinyl wrap for horse trailers, box trucks, cars, or pickup trucks, for a single fleet vehicle, or for 100, no job is too big for the Smash Wraps team. Make your appointment to set your business apart today. Find us on social media or at smashwraps.com. And remember, don't just wrap it, smash wrap it.
The Equine Performance and Innovative Center, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centers for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the final segment of the Horse Talk Show for this week, presented by Palm Chevrolet, our hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio with Dancin Pete Roda from Complementary Horsemanship, and he's going to do his Tip of the Week, brought to you by Wildlife Works.
Tip of the Week, brought to you by Complementary Horsemanship.
This tip is sponsored by WildlifeWorksLLC.com for your unwanted wild critters removal.
Thank
brought
you
to
for
you by Wildlife Works.
We were saying we always look for new animals, and Isaac said, well, do you have any suggestions? And Luisa, of course, said a horse. I don't think they're...
You don't really want to get a horse out of your barn. It's
Right.
not really a problem, is it?
Tip of the week is frustration. So what that means, this is a rebalancer, as I call it.
The answer to frustration is English chocolate, by the way.
Okay. So frustration means that you're pushing yourself beyond what you're doing or what you're capable of doing, but you have to do that to get to the next level. So when you start pushing yourself beyond where you think you are, then you get a little frustrated because it isn't happening, and that goes back to emotional fitness. So if you're not getting frustrated sometimes, then you're not pushing yourself. And I always
If you're not getting frustrated, sometimes you did not lay enough sod.
There you go.
Did I mention that?
So having frustration when you're learning something, you have to go, okay, I'm getting frustrated. I notice it. Now I need to slow down, get myself back under control, and go, okay, I'm not curing cancer here, so why am I getting so bent out of shape? And it's because we have big goals with our horses. And we also have to remember, our horse does not know your goal. They don't know the judge is watching. They don't know you're at the show, and they have to do it exactly how they did it at home. They're just responding the way they think is right or wrong, and then you have to say, let me help you, let's get back on track. And that's where you can't get frustrated to the point where you're emotionally, I'm gonna beat you, and get all frustrated, because that's gonna make it worse. So you got to stay calm and do what you need to do, and then the horse will come back around.
And if you want to learn more from Dancin Pete, you can join the CEP and come to the August 15th meeting at the CEP's building, and then you can learn all sorts of interesting horse behavior stuff. If you have a horse, you probably have a dog. And the Horse Talk Show wouldn't be the Horse Talk Show if it didn't go to the dogs. So here's Neil Hennessy from Ocala Dog Ranch. The Horse Talk Show goes to the dogs at Ocala Dog Ranch.
Neil Hennessy, the owner of Ocala Dog Ranch. Positive reinforcement. This is a scientific way of training your dog. There's lots of debates from all kinds of trainers about which is the best way to train your dog. We like positive reinforcement. It's kinder, gentler. You give the dog the choice to do things because you reward them. They learn that when they do something you like, they get rewarded, whether it's treats, hugs, chasing a ball, the old way of trying to be the master. The dog is not trying to take over the world. After all, they've got you trained to pick up their poop. What more could they train you to do?
Did I mention the fact that I love an Englishman with a cowboy hat on? And did I also mention that there's an epic dog and pony show coming to you soon?
And I have the first shirt for the epic dog and pony show.
Well done.
And I'm getting dollar bills for my shirt reveal.
Shirt reveal. Epic dog and pony show is going to be at the Equine Performance and Innovative Center August 23rd to 25th, 5590 Northwest Highway 225. This is going to be so much fun with a dock diving competition. They're going to have a mobile dock there, and you can also see all the facilities at the Equine Performance Center.
So they're going to be running tours so you can see what your dog or horse
can do for rehab and conditioning. Yeah, which is honestly probably the finest in the world, but definitely the finest in the country as far as equine conditioning and rehabilitation goes. You cannot get much better than the Equine Performance and Innovative Center. So this is lovely that this is bringing the dog and the horse world together like we do every week with Neil from Ocala Dog Ranch. So I think it's perfect. And since we mentioned Dr. Alberto Rullan in Epic, here he is. Louisa Barton here for the Horse Talk Show with Dr. Alberto Rullan at the Equine Performance and Innovative Center. And Dr. Rullan has your equine rehab tip of the week.
Increase your core muscles by doing underwater treadmill. Underwater treadmill, increase your core muscles and hind leg strengthening as well.
I've been in it.
Yes.
Makes you fit. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show. I have been in that treadmill, by the way.
So have I.
Have you?
Well, not that one.
No, you were in the
cooler one.
You were in the cooler one, yes. So I've been in the treadmill, and I will tell you that that horse makes it look easy. And I was on my microphone trying to share the experience and record the experience I was having in that treadmill. And I'm probably a lot more unfit than the average horse, but I'm going to say that I was out of breath after just a few minutes. If you've ever walked in the sea, and I'm sure you have walked in the sea, you know that when you're going through water...
We call it the ocean.
We call it the sea.
Yeah, I know.
What's wrong with the sea?
We're not around a sea, we're around an ocean. The Atlantic Ocean.
So what about the Gulf of Mexico? What's that?
It's still an ocean. It's not a sea.
It's the sea.
It's not the Dead Sea.
Listen, I had a grandma that lived by the sea, and we called her Nanny Seaside because she lived by the sea.
Wow, that's a nursery rhyme.
Oh, right? Okay, so you've walked in the ocean. If you've walked in the ocean, you know that it is a workout. So that is a phenomenal way to do conditioning for a horse. Either that, swimming in the pool there at Epic, using the cold water spa. All of those are incredible therapies for your horse. So what's amazing about the Epic Dog and Pony Show is you get to meet Neil from Ocala Dog Ranch. You get to see dock diving in action.
Which
Dogs
is a huge
in action.
sport.
Yes, it is massive. International dog sports. And you get to also get a tour of the Equine Performance Innovative Center. There's going to be some vendors. There's going to be some fun things going on, some food trucks and things like that. And then Dancin Pete Roda is going to make an appearance as a dancing rodeo clown with a hose because we'll need it.
Yeah, you'll come see me if you want to cool off.
If you want to cool off, yes. So it's going to be a great event. Please put that on your calendar. And I do want to mention again, and I'm going to keep bringing this up for the next few months, that you do not miss the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games, the All Breed Parade, and the Equine Industry Expo on November 22nd and 23rd. Our presenting sponsor is AgPro. Pat Myers Electric is going to be sponsoring the parade. We're hoping to have 70 or 80 horses and lots of different breeds there for you to see. And the opportunities for your careers in the equine world on the Friday, the November 22nd, is a chance for you to learn about all sorts of jobs that you could be doing. We call it from mucking to media. And that's all happening at the Florida Horse Park, which is an incredible 500-acre facility.
10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yes. And yes, 10 a.m. To 3 p.m. on the Friday, which is November 22nd, and the 23rd
is 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and that's when we have the fun, the parade,
the Hobby Horse
and
Games.
the Hobby Horse Games.
Yeah, where you get to compete for ribbons and trophies. You can win possibly the best stick horse if you bring your own stick horse, or possibly the ugliest, wonkiest, weirdest stick horse. But either way, it's going to be an incredible 2-day event. We've got some wonderful sponsors, and we hope to get hundreds of people out again to learn about all sorts of horse sports. And we'll also have carriage rides on Saturday free of charge for anybody that would like a carriage ride. So it's going to be a lot of fun, vendors and all sorts of things. Food trucks, a good time, a great way to spend with your family and your friends. Students welcome for credits with Marion County Public School System. So
and
exciting
that sound
stuff.
Means
it's the end. For
we should
week.
have a song that ends the show.
Well, as long as you don't sing it, we'll
That's
be okay.
Right. Thanks.
Whether you're in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world. Happy horsing around until the same time next week.
See you next week.